All right, we're back in the garage today, and we're working on CJ's 690 adventure bike that he's going to ride in a KTM event up in, where is it, South Dakota? And we're swapping out this taillight section that has a smaller taillight, and this is like a Euro version of the American version. Smaller taillight, no tag bracket and all that mess. But the problem we're having is these four holes that hold everything here on the fuel tank under the seat don't line up. Some people have said they've taken a screwdriver and pried them, but this thing is probably at least a third of a hole off. And if you look really close here, you can see that this grommet, or this sleeve, is not really centered very well compared to this one. These are different. And the original one, hope I'm lining it up, they're all centered. So what I plan to do is take these old sleeves out, press them out, drill the hole larger towards the bottom, and put a bigger sleeve in there, and where this thing will all bolt on there. This goes on, a plastic fairing goes on, and then there's some spacers, and then a rack goes on the back of this thing. So that's what we're going to try to do, and we'll show you how we do it along the way. All right, I'm going to show you what I'm talking about with these holes. You see the back ones line up pretty good. CJ forced that one in there. You can see how much the bolt is off, and you could maybe see here we're about a third, maybe third of a hole off. You can force it together, but then that's a little too much stress. So I'm going to move this spacer. You can see in this shot here how much off-centered that thing is put on from the factory. I don't know why it's that way, but if that was centered in that hex nut casting, everything would be a whole lot better. It'd bolt right on. But what I'm going to do is take this spacer out, drill the hole larger in this direction, and then make a new spacer to go in there where hopefully this thing will bolt up. All right, so we had to change the plans. Those spacers are hexagonal, just like the casting in the plastic. And when I pressed the first one out, I figured out that wasn't the way to go. So what we're going to do here is we have the piece chucked up in the drill press here with the cross vise, and I'm using the 3/8 end mill. These are aluminum spacers, and I'm basically hogging the spacer out a little bit, and it'll already fit. I've already done one of them, so we've already tested it. And then we're also going to take a drill bit and put a little extra wiggle room in this spacer here, so there's some movement to get everything lined up right. All right, we've already actually centered it up. Everything is set up, so we'll just take the end mill and slowly run it down through here. The reason we're using an end mill is because it cuts on the face and goes straight down, whereas with a drill bit, it would tend to cut at an angle and you won't go straight down. The end mill is rigid; it's made to go straight down. All right, that's all the way through. And that's what your holes will look like. A little bit oblong. Now we're going to run a drill bit through here. The reason I'm going to use a drill bit here is because that'll center it up. It's just easier to use a drill bit. But with these, we're all set. We needed to drill vertically, and we didn't need any deflection, so we use an end mill because it cuts on the face and goes straight through. All right, CJ is using the drill bit to go through the aluminum spacer just to give us a little extra clearance. What size bit was that we're using? 31 30-seconds or something like that? 23/64. 11 30-seconds went through it easily. The next size bit up was a 23/64. There's no need to use the drill press here because we're using a drill bit that's going to self-center. The reason we use the drill press on the other operations is because we needed to be in a constant plane. Here we're basically just hogging the spacer out to give us more wiggle room. All right, so that should have all our spacers all wiggled out, and now we're going to go try to put it back on the bike. All right, you can see right here that we were successful with our hole hogging, and the bolts go right in. This is just test fit up here to make sure everything would work. Again, we used a 3/8 end mill on these two holes here, and the 11 30-seconds drill bit, whatever 23/64 drill bit back here, just to give us a little wiggle room. And this thing actually fits pretty snug, just like it is. We probably could have used a little bit more up front here, but it works right now. And now we're going to put it all together. All right, this is what the wiring looks like. Didn't have all the connectors we needed, so we ended up doing the solder shrink wrap. Put the factory connectors back in. These are resistors on either side for the LED lights, and the fairing will fit right over the top of all this and hide all the wires. All right, we're going to put this thing back together. It's a long process, so we're going to speed through it. This is what it looks like with the Euro tail section on there with the LED tail light, smaller LED turn signals and such. They're not hooked up yet, but And we'll make a tag bracket back here because this bike is street legal. But what this did is it got rid of this huge tail section here with a bigger tail light and bigger turn signals, and put the sleek Euro style on there. All right, this is the finished product. Everything bolts up really easily now. All the wires are all down here where they're supposed to be. We got LED tail light and turn signal, brake light, tail light, turn signal, turn signal. Got that Euro look going for it now. Just got to get a tag bracket on it to make it legal. But that's the modifications sometimes necessary to mount the Euro tail fin assembly on the KTM 690.